I want to show you how to go about doing a reassessment. So you now have a grade for your chapter 1 and 2 summative assessment. I think I called it the natural selection summative assessment. So you need to go ahead and in your grades, this is my sample student, so they didn't turn it in. But if you do go and find that assessment, natural, let's see, where is it? Natural selection summative assessment. Oh, it looks like they did turn it in. So you can view the rubric right here. And then actually, if you look at the comments, it says see comments in document, and you'll have a link. So you'll want to open up that link, and that'll open up the link to the Google document that has all of your responses from Pear Deck along with comments from me. So there'll be comments, maybe comment bubbles on the right side, as well as some comments in purple underneath the slides where I had something to say. So if you're looking at this, and, you know, for this pretend student, they got a C, 7.5 out of 10. So if you're happy with that, great. But if you think you can do better, look at the rubric and see which criteria you need to do the most work on. So for this student, they really need to work on the develop explanations as well as adaptations. And you can see what that means. So uses evidence and logic to develop explanations. Adaptations was being able to construct an explanation based on evidence for how natural selection leads to adaptation of populations. So I would expect then if I open up the actual document, I'll find comments related to those two things where I had the most trouble. So then to do the reassessment, if you go into modules and under the first module, welcome, begin here, you'll see this second chance learning and reassessment submissions. So if you open up second chance learning, I've described here the whole process of what you need to do for reassessments. If you receive below a 70% or below a 7 out of 10 on that assignment, you need to do a reassessment. So first of all, make sure you do read all comments and annotations or rubrics on the original assessment. Then go back into our first couple weeks of class and look at the work we've done, the assignments you've submitted, look at my comments from those, and look at those things related to those criteria that you're wanting to be reassessed on. So some assignments might be associated with multiple criteria. An example here is like, okay, criterion is adaptation. That was one of the things I looked at. Some of the assignments that deal with adaptation I've identified, I've listed here. First thing, I want to make sure that I've submitted all of those. If I have any missing work related to that criterion, I need to do those first. Then I'm going to choose one of those activities related to adaptation, which is the criterion I want to redo. And I'm just going to summarize the main learning points or takeaways from that assignment. You need to just do that for one assignment in each criterion you want to redo. So here's an example of what a takeaway might be from the bighorn sheep assignment. So the bighorn sheep population is evolving to have shorter horns. We can infer that the mechanism of this change is natural selection because horn length is variable among the population. Horn length is inherited. Not all sheep survive and reproduce equally. And over generations, the smaller horn survivors have offspring, and as a result, the population adapts to have smaller horns. These small horn sheep are better adapted because hunters aren't as interested in them. Once I've done that, and again, you need to do that just for one assignment per criterion, then I need to complete the appropriate reassessment assignment found in the associated unit module. So down below, I've actually organize these for you so it's super easy. So the summative assessment right now that we're looking at is this U1 natural selection summative assignment. And the criterion, let's say I want to redo adaptations. So I'm going to go in here and I would click on this adaptations review. I'm going to do everything in that assignment, and then I'll show you where to submit it. So let's take a look at that adaptations review. So in this, I have to just watch a video and address the myths. So myth 1, populations adapt when all of the individual members gradually change their traits. So the reality is already written here. So this is wrong, this is right. And here's a wrong example. Giraffes grew longer necks so they could reach higher leaves. So this is, there's something inaccurate about this. So my assignment is to actually correct this example. So I'll do that for these 4 myths and put them in a document along with my takeaways. And that's what I would be submitting. So when I go back to here, there was that second chance learning document. I'll show you. This is what we were looking at before with the instructions. When I'm all done with everything on that list, then I'll go to the reassessment submissions. And I will just submit my document that has my takeaways as well as my responses to that specific assignment that I did. And that's what I would put in there. If I'm doing multiple criteria and I want to redo multiple criteria, then I can either submit multiple documents for each criteria, or I can put it all in one document and submit that. When I see that you have submitted something there, I'll take a look at it and I will just chat with you to find a good time that you can actually do the reassessment. So I can then assign you that reassessment. You'll take it. And the grade that you receive for that criterion, if it's better, will replace your original grade. If you do worse, your grade's not going to go down. Your grade can only get better. So just be assured that that's the case. At any point during this process, if you're doing one of those reassessment assignments and you have questions, please reach out to me. You can chat via Teams or send me an email.